What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mika Chanel, back with another edition of Mika Chanel's Just Saying. Now, I know it's been a few weeks since I've done a blog on SWV Reunited, but that's what I will be discussing tonight. SWV Reunited, Season 2, Episode 11. It is moving on. We start this episode off with Taj. She is returning home to Nashville, Tennessee, because basically the other girls, as well as their manager Corey, sent her home because she can't sing right now. Like, she's been having these vocal issues. She was supposed to have had surgery like a while back, and she kept putting the surgery off and kept putting the surgery off, and now, you know, it's to the point where she can't even sing. Like, they had a show in where were they at? Maybe Puerto Rico, or I can't remember where they were, but they had a show there. And then, like, right after that show, they had to fly back to the United States because they had a show at the ESPYs that Taj had booked. And, you know, Corey, of course, was mad at her for booking the show. But I'm like, didn't you tell them to, you know, help themselves? That sometimes you got to help themselves or whatever. But anyway, so basically they had like 2 back-to-back shows, and her voice is already very weak, so she was not able to perform. During the second show, they turned her microphone off and everything. Actually, I think they turned her microphone off during both shows. So anyway, so you see her in this episode. She goes home to her husband, Eddie George, and he's, you know, telling her, like, I agree with the ladies. Like, I'm happy that they sent you home, and, you know what I'm saying? Now, hopefully you can start listening to reason because you really need to have this, you know, issue handled. So she makes an appointment to go and see her doctor or whatever. But she gets really annoyed with Eddie. But it's like, you know, I know that you want to sing. I know that you want to tour. But you need to get this taken care of so that you can continue to do the things that you want to do as far as, you know, your career goes or whatever. Because, I mean, you keep putting a strain on your voice. Eventually, you're going to blow your vocal cords, you know, all, and you won't ever be able to sing again. So, that's kind of what people are telling her. Anyway, as you see in the next scene, Lily, Coco, and their manager, Corey, they're in a limo. They're headed to, they just, I guess, flew into Vegas, and they're headed to their hotel because they have a show to do in Vegas. They're kind of discussing Taj, and Corey's like, you know, he's kind of concerned about talking to the party promoter there, about the fact that Taj isn't going to be there, you know, because they're a threesome, you know, and they are right now a twosome because Taj is not there. And, you know, they kind of discuss that, and then you see in the next scene, like, you see Corey actually meet up with the party promoter or whatever. But the scene looked very, very staged to me because, like, I don't know, it was like delayed anger, delayed, like, I don't know, like, Corey's like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying, it's only gonna be 2 girls. He's like, yo, I paid for 3 girls, this gonna be 3 girls, or else you're not gonna get this balance, I'm not gonna put this balance, whatever. But it was just kind of like, all of that was delayed, you know, it just seemed kind of fake to me. Like, I think that the promoter knew ahead before that Corey was coming to talk to him about that, and then they just kind of, you know, set it up that way. I don't know, but it was kind of silly. And Corey was sitting there acting hard, and I'm like, dude, you are not going to do anything. So, I mean, I know you know what I'm saying, you ride out for SWV, and you done got your butt whooped almost got your butt whooped a couple times, but, you know what I'm saying, you need to leave, you need to stop acting like you Suge Knight or some damn body, and just do your job or whatever. So, I don't know, but yeah, it just really seemed fake to me, that whole scene. Then you see Lily, she's talking to her daughter, they're Skyping on the computer, or FaceTime, whatever, on the computer. And Lily's asking her daughter, you know, like, what you been up to? I haven't heard from you. I've been texting you. You're not calling me back. You know, how's the job going? Because her daughter, what's her name? What is her daughter's name? Oh my goodness. It'll come to me in a second. Anyways, her daughter, is trying to be a makeup artist or whatever. So she's like, you know what, Mom? I just have so many things going on that I'm not going to be able to focus on the job. And Lily's looking at her like, what the hell are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So Lily's concerned and thinking that her daughter is going back to her old ways or whatever of like, you know, just being in the streets and not, you know, taking care of herself in the way that she should. And she was like an escort and she was just doing a lot of things that she probably shouldn't have been doing or whatever. So anyway, so that was that scene, and you see Lily, she's like looking really concerned about her daughter, but I'm like, your daughter's grown. I understand that you were concerned about her or whatever, but she is an adult and she's gonna do whatever she wants to do. So you see Lily, her boyfriend Drew, Coco, and her husband Mike, they all go out to dinner because it's Lily's birthday, and while they're at dinner, they discuss the group and they discuss Taj. And Coco's husband is like, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to replace her if she can't sing or whatever? So they're like, no, we don't replace people in this group. That's not what we do or whatever, you know. And so, you know, so they were all like going back and forth. The men were like, you know, taking each other's side and saying that, you know, they need to think about replacing Taj or whatever. And then all of a sudden, Lily's boyfriend is like talking to Coco and is like, are you stupid? What is wrong with you? And I'm just like, really, dude? And then Coco's husband sitting there, he didn't say anything. Like, he's agreeing with the dude. You know what I mean? I'm just like, is this how y'all talk? Like, I don't get down like that. First of all, don't call me stupid. Another man better not call me stupid in front of my husband. My husband don't say anything about it. He better check that motherfucker right as soon as he say it, okay? And then he better not agree with the dude that said anything about me being stupid. I don't care what kind of situation it is, and I don't care if they did have the same opinion about it. But it's the way that you talk to people. And then, like, Coco she was taking it back or whatever. She was like, excuse me? She was like, first of all, dumb motherfucker dumber. You know, y'all need to back up. This is our group. It has nothing to do with you. We will make the decisions about SWV. Okay, so let's, you know what I'm saying, let's end this dang conversation or whatever. So Lily's like, look, it's my birthday and I don't want to talk about this anymore. Because y'all over you and wrong. You need to stay in your lane. Get up out of our lane. Because this is not your lane, okay? So anyway, so they squash all that, and they ended up going to like this burlesque show because they were going to go to a strip club, but Coco's like too uptight to go to a strip club. So I'm sorry, I'm sick. My nose is running. So anyway, so they end up going to a burlesque show or whatever. You see Coco doing tequila shots and stuff or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, she's loosening up tonight. She is not. You know, she is not being the church lady tonight, and they seem to have a lot of fun. And then afterwards, they were talking, and I guess they were talking about what they were going to be doing when they left, you know, because they were all so drunk or whatever. And Coco's husband was like, yeah, we gonna get something going on. And Coco's like, I'll probably throw up on your balls. And he's like, that's okay as long as you down there on them. And she was like, I'm like, ew, y'all nasty. Ew, y'all nasty. Anyways, but I thought that scene was funny because normally you don't see Coco let loose like that. So I thought that was good because everybody needs to let loose at some point. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be that uptight at all times, not wanting to sing certain songs. It just, you know, nobody can be that uptight all the damn time. So then you see Taj back in Nashville. You see Taj, she goes to her doctor, and she's basically told that she's going to have the surgery, and it's going to take about 4 months for her to fully recover. It's going to take 3 months of recovery, and then I think 1 month to prepare or something like that for the surgery or something. So basically she's going to be down for 4 months, and she's like, look, I can't do that. Because I have responsibilities and I have a commitment to the group and this and that. And the doctor's like, look, you may not be able to sing, so you need to get this done. And you see, I felt so bad for her. You see her in like her interview and she just is breaking down because she is just like, this is my music is what I love. It's my passion and it might be taken away from me. And then she's feeling bad because she knows she's taken, by her not being able to perform, you know, saying people are not going to always want to accept just 2 members for a little bit. And they had like a lot of shows booked or whatever. So she's feeling bad about that and them not being able to make the money or whatever. So I really felt bad about her. But she bad for her. But she decides to fly out to Vegas where the ladies are so that she could tell them in person about, you know, what the doctor said about her being down for like 4 months or whatever. So she goes back to Vegas and you see a scene with Corey. He's like Eddie George, Taj's husband, calls Corey, and it's like, you know, Taj is, you know, she's hard-headed, she's gonna do what she wants to do, but I just would like for you to make sure that she does not perform tonight, make sure she does not sing tonight, because she needs, you know what I'm saying, first of all, she can't sing, she can't get out, but if she even tries, she's gonna, you know what I'm saying, her voice is just not gonna be good for her voice. So Corey's like, look, man, you know what I'm saying, I will do my best, but you know how Taj is. And then Corey in his interview was like, you know, I don't want to tell Taj she can't do anything, because after that little text message thing where he called her, he thought he was texting Coco, which it was probably, that was probably fake too. But anyways, he thought he was texting Coco, but instead he texted Taj saying Taj is a crazy bitch or whatever. So they had words about that, and so yeah, so anyways, so, you know, he tells Eddie, he's like, you know, I'm gonna do what I can to not, to have her not perform, but I can't really control her or whatever. So anyways, you see them that night. Well, they do some other stuff. They do like a helicopter ride or whatever. Nothing really interesting. And then that night, it's time for their performance. And, you know, they do like 1 or 2 songs, and then they finally pull Taj up on the stage. And as she walks on the stage, like, the crowd goes wild. It was like, you know, they were just waiting on that third member, you know, to show up. And, like, you know, she's right. You know, they do need her, you know, but hey, girl, you need to take care of your health, because if you don't take care of your health, there is no SWV. I mean, there's a risk that you may not be able to sing, but there's in probably a guarantee that you won't be able to sing if you don't go ahead and get the surgery. And so anyway, so they do the show. Taj doesn't sing, of course, but she's up there, you know, lip syncing and pumping her hands and dancing and doing all, you know, doing everything except singing, which is good. Which probably wasn't even that noticeable that she wasn't singing anyway. So after the show, they go to the back and they're all sitting around just talking about how good the show was or whatever. And then Corey comes in, and then they, you know, get heavy and start talking about like the dates that they have coming up for concerts and shows and things, and what are they going to do. And Taj is like, well, I think you guys need to seriously, you know, think about replacing me, and at least on a temporary basis until I'm done recovering from my surgery or whatever. And they're all looking around, and like, you could tell it's something they don't want to do. I guess they had already discussed at some point that they would not replace anybody. Like, they're always going to have their original members or whatever. But like Coco was saying, like, if Taj is saying that they should, you know what I'm saying, at least look into it or think about it, then maybe it's something that they really need to think about. I mean, because at the end of the day, people just want to hear the music, and they, you know what I'm saying, as long as you throw another girl up there, I think people will be fine. Of course, you remember the original members, but if it's only temporary, then I don't really see what the problem is. Anyway, so yeah, that was pretty much it for the episode. Like, SWV hasn't really been that, it's not that interesting, and some of it seems a little fake. It reminds me a little bit of R&B Divas and how the show flows, and it kind of seems a little, some of the scenes are a little set up. Not that these things aren't actually happening, but just that they're not actually happening in real time, that we're watching it. You know what I mean? Like, I think they've already had like a heads up about things, or they set it up, and you know, whatever. So I don't know. The ladies they're trying to get themselves together, but it just seems like they just keep having hurdles that they have to go through. And, you know, they got all these beefs, 20-year-old beefs that they won't let go of. And I don't know. And now Taj with her voice, they got a little whiny ass manager that acts like he's one of them, as opposed to acting like the dang manager and doing what he needs to do, and not argue with the ladies and not talk about the ladies, but rather, you know what I'm saying, manage the ladies. That's what he gets paid to do. So yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens next week, I guess. What's happening next week? Something, I can't even remember now. I just had it in the back of my mind. I said I was going to discuss it about what's going to happen next week, and now I can't even remember what I was going to discuss. So anyways, like I said, it's not that interesting, but I still enjoy watching it. So hopefully you enjoyed this vlog. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Mika Chanel Is Just Saying. And until next time, stay real, stay safe, and stay tuned to Mika Chanel Is Just Saying. Bye bye.